Good evening, I'm Abhushan Gautam. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. Government holds talks with the Samyukta Loktantrik Madhesi Morcha on party's common stance. India welcomes government's decision for constitution amendment. CIA demands 100 million rupees in bail from suspended armed police force IGP Koshraj Unta. Malaysian telecommunications company Axiata buys 80% share from Nepali mobile phone service provider Ncell. And FIFA President Sepp Blatter and UEFA President Michel Platini suspended for 8 years from all football-related activities. The government held talks with the Samyukta Loktantrik Madhesi Morcha today to inform them about the common stances of the three main parties. The government formally informed the Madhesi Morcha leaders about the cabinet's decision to address the latter's demands. The protesting Madhesi Morcha leaders said that the decision to address the demands through constitution amendment procedure is a positive step. The leaders added that they will hold discussions on this issue and get back to the government. The three major parties said they will address Madhesi Morcha's 11-point agreement through the parliament and by holding talks. The agreement states proportionate, inclusive representation and electoral constituencies to be formed on the basis of population. The three parties submitted a proposal to solve the issue of federal delineation through the political committee within 3 months. The Political Dialogue Committee member and General Administrative Minister Rekha Sharma said conducive environment for talks has been formed to hold dialogue. Sharma also said that the common stances of the three main parties approved by the cabinet has been sent to all four parties. The parliament was adjourned for 5 days on Friday after the ministers decided to move ahead with the process to pass the constitution amendment bill. Now earlier today, Morcha leaders met with the Indian ambassador to Nepal, Ranjit Ray. Meanwhile, India has welcomed the government's decision to take the constitution amendment process forward. India's External Affairs Ministry issued a 4-point statement today welcoming the government's constitutional amendment proposal. The ministry also said that it had taken the notice sent by Nepal's Foreign Minister Kamal Thapa regarding the latest political updates positively. In the statement, India has said that the cabinet had taken some major decisions to address the demands of Madhesi-based parties and hinted that the ongoing blockade could ease. India has also expressed hope that a positive environment will be created for the two nations to resume trade. The Indian External Affairs Ministry has said that the decision to include proportionate inclusive representation and delineation of constituencies based on population in the amendment proposal was a welcome move. Similarly, it has also welcomed the decision to delineate constituencies based on political consensus and address citizenship issues for Madhesis. The ministry has expressed hope that with these developments, the recently turned sour relations between the two countries would improve in the future. The corruption watchdog CIA has demanded a bail amount of 100 million rupees from suspended armed police force IGP Koshraj Unta. The commission has started grilling Unta from today. Sources at CIA said that Unta has expressed his willingness to pay the bail amount to escape detention. The sources also said that Unta has begun process for paying the bail amount. The corruption watchdog is preparing a charge sheet against Unta demanding a fine of 80 million rupees. Along with Unta, 2 other DSPs and 1 AFP inspector have been suspended on corruption charges while transporting essentials procured for armed police force. Now, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has said that the government was committed to implementing the constitution despite the misconceptions popularized against it. Talking to journalists, Oli said that the government would never accept the breach of national unity and social harmony. He, however, said that the valid demands could be fulfilled. He said that the blockade would ease soon, but there was no clarity on when that would be. Oli said that elements responsible for making other people suffer could not be called nationalists. Prime Minister Oli went to Biratnagar today to inaugurate the Sunsari District Convention of YEML. Now, students in Rohtak's court demonstrated today protesting the killing of a student in police action yesterday. The students vandalized 3 police posts on the outskirts of the district headquarters. The students stormed the police posts at Gaurs, Kataharia, Gangapriya and Bakul. Demonstrators also set ablaze the reception at Bakul police post. During the demonstrations led by Samyukta Loktantrik Madhesi Morcha yesterday, 18-year-old Sheikh Teverej was killed in police firing. The violence yesterday led to the authority imposing curfew from afternoon yesterday. The curfew was lifted for 4 hours this morning and an indefinite curfew was imposed from 10:30. But the administration again lifted the curfew from 6 to 10 in the evening today. Madhesi Morcha cadres defied curfew at several places earlier today, demonstrating in Anchunkunwa, Hajminia, Bakul, Garuda, among other places. Meanwhile, Morcha cadres putting forth a 4-point demand have refused to accept the dead body of Sheikh Tewres. They have demanded that the deceased be declared a martyr and rightful compensation for the victim's family be provided. And in this context, we asked the residents of Parsa, Sarlahi, Mahuttari and Kathmandu the reason behind the current political deadlock. Before we take a short break, let's have a look at what they had to say.
जहिले यो खसवादीको शासन हुन्छ त्यसलेसम्म यो निकास निस्किन सक्दैन दुई पक्ष मिलेर यसलाई चाहिँ अन्तिम वार्ता गरी समाधान निकास गर्नुपर्छ
नेताले नै नगरेर होला चासो नदिएर
सरकार आखिरमा देशको गार्जियन हुन्छ हैन अब आन्दोलनकारी छ भने के उसँग वार्ता गर्नुपर्छ कि कुनै समस्या मतलब बेगरी हल हुन्छ त्यसले हल गर्नुपर्छ
बुझेर चुप लाएर बस्नु पर्यो उठ्नु भएन आन्दोलनमा
हाम्रो पनि उ समस्या बुझोस् समस्या बुझेपछि त वार्ता भइहाल्छ नि
सरकारमा नेतृत्व गर्ने नेतृत्वकर्ताहरूले गम्भीर नभएर हो
खास गरेर त्यो खसवादीहरू कारणले अहिले यो हाम्रो मधेस आन्दोलनको निकास मिल्न पाइरहेको छैन
सबै पक्षका नेतृत्वहरूको चाहिँ स्वार्थबाजी छ यो स्वार्थलाई निस्वार्थ ढङ्गले चाहिँ टेबलमा बसेर देश र जनताको हितको लागि चाहिँ कुरो नभएर नै यस्तो भयो
Welcome back. The Home Ministry has formed a team to research the attack on President Vidya Devi Bhandari in the Janaki Temple premises. The committee has been formed in coordination with the Joint Secretary of the Home Ministry, Binod Khesi. It has been given 7 days to submit its report following an investigation. Nepal Police DIG Hemant Thapal, Armed Police Force DIG Arvind Dital and National Investigation Department Director Yadulal Kharel are the members of the investigation committee. Locals in Janakpur had mistreated President Vidya Devi Bhandari on Biwa Panchami, calling her a widow. Likewise, the National Women's Commission has condemned the assault on the president. The press release issued by the commission mentions that President Bhandari was mistreated because she is a woman. The press release also demands strict action against those involved in the incident. Now, JICA has awarded the 11th JICA President Award to the Physical Infrastructure and Transport Ministry. At the program organized in the Physical Infrastructure Ministry in Singapore today, JICA Chairman Shinichi Kitaoka handed over the prize to Deputy Prime Minister and Physical Infrastructure Minister Vijay Kumar Kachidar. The award is presented to the best work among those constructed by the Japan International Assistance Commission, or the JICA, under which the Physical Infrastructure Ministry received it. At the event, Minister Kachidar said that Japan's assistance was important in the development of Nepal. He also requested that the Koteshwar Surya Binayak 4-lane road be extended to Dhulikhel. JICA Chairman Kitaoka said that Japan would continue assisting the Transport Department of Nepal. Japan has provided a loan of 26 billion rupees and an additional grant of 4 billion rupees to Nepal for post-earthquake reconstruction. The loan and grant assistance agreements were signed today by Secretary of Finance Ministry Lok Darshan Rigby and Japanese Ambassador to Nepal Masashi Ogawa. Earlier, the loan agreements were signed by Joint Secretary of the International Economic Cooperation at the Ministry of Finance and the Chief Representative of JICA, Tsutomu Shimizu, in the presence of Finance Minister Vishnu Paudel and JICA President Shinichi Kitaoka. Out of 26 billion rupees, 14 billion rupees will be utilized for the reconstruction of schools and the remaining 12 billion rupees will be used for the reconstruction of houses. The grant assistance of 4 billion rupees will be utilized for the reconstruction of Paropakar Maternity and Women's Hospital and Bir Hospital will also be distributed in Gorkha's Bar Park for rehabilitation of water transmission system. Agreements have been signed saying Nepal will have to pay the loan amount within 10 to 40 years. JICA said that the loan will be distributed to rebuild schools and houses in 6 of the worst affected districts like Lalitpur, Dhading, Nuwakot, Raswa, Makwanpur and Gorkha. And with that, it's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where US Massas with your opinion. On former Prime Minister Baburam Bhattarai's comment on corruption in the Maoist cantonment funds. And a snapshot of the results: 14% voted for option A, anger upon leaving party, 57% for B, means to escape, and 29% for C, seeking sympathy. And now today's question, what is the solution of Madhis movement? Options are A, serious talks, B, constitution amendment, and C, referendum. Well, the voting is on. Type NEWS, select option A, B or C and send it to 8080 to share your opinion with us. Now an international update. Dozens of people are missing after a landslide engulfed 22 buildings at an industrial park in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen. An area of 20,000 square meters was covered with soil. The state-run Xinhua news agency quoted a local worker as saying he saw red earth and mud running towards the company building. Another resident living around 4 kilometers from the site described hearing a loud explosion at around noon as the landslide hit. Ren Zhiguang, the deputy chief of Shenzhen's Public Security Bureau, told state broadcaster CCTV that most people had been moved to safety before the landslide hit. Some 1,500 firefighters were at the scene, according to the Guangming New Area government. Local media reported that the soil that came loose had been dug up in the past 2 years in construction work and was piled up nearby. A statement on Weibo from the Shenzhen municipal government said that the landslide had also triggered an explosion at a nearby gas station. A landslide in the country's Zhejiang province in November killed at least 25 people. And time now for yet another short break. For more news, stay with us. Telesonera, owner of Nepali mobile phone service provider Ancel, has sold 80% of its share to a Malaysian telecommunications company, Axiata. Telesonera sold shares worth 140 billion rupees to the Asian telecommunications giant. Issuing a release today, Telesonera said that the sale agreement would be completed within a span of 6 months. According to the agreement, Axiata will now hold 80% of the share in Ancel, while 20% will be claimed by Nepali shareholder Bhavna Shrestha. Nepal Telecommunication Authority and Department of Industries had earlier given the go-ahead signal for the share transaction. Axiata, with its headquarters in Kuala Lumpur, has over 260 million customers in South and Southeast Asia. And time now for the sport update. FIFA President Sepp Blatter and UEFA President Michel Platini have been suspended for 8 years from all football-related activities following an investigation. The bans come into force immediately. The two football bosses were found guilty of the government's decision for constitutional amendment. CIA demands 100 million rupees in bail from suspended armed police force IGP Koshraj Wonta. Malaysian telecommunications